question the club haven't answered, which unfortunately is the environment you are celebrating, but Roberto Mancini was discovered to have had separate payments from Abu Dhabi while he was manager. Have you ever had separate payments from Abu Dhabi while City manager?
Do you know the question as you're asking to me? Do you know the question asking me if I receive money for another situation right now today? Honestly, do you think I deserve to make this kind of question that happened, Roberto? I don't know. Did they want the travel about I've received money for other situations?
Pep Guardiola here, of course, responding to the situation related to Manchester City's alleged cheating, alleged financial doping, which has gripped the world of football in the last 24 hours. These allegations have been circling for many, many years, as you can see from this clip from Pep Guardiola. You could see, and I want to rewind it a second here. I want to rewind it so when you hear this question about to be asked, the way the press officers tried to shut this down. Take a listen.
Had separate payments from Abu Dhabi while he was manager. Have you ever had...
Okay, guys, that's the press officer there trying to shut this down. They don't want these kind of questions. Now, I understand why Pep Guardiola would be frustrated and why he would be angry about these questions, but equally, you can just say, absolutely not. I get paid directly from Manchester City. I'm PAYE. There's no side payments. Nip it in the bud. But the anger to the question is now going to raise more questions. We're going to look into some more of the situation regarding this alleged cheating. We've got some leaked emails, which are absolutely stunning. And aside from this, Arsenal have absolutely broken Manchester City. City are scared of them. They are discounting themselves out of the title race already. And Pep Guardiola in this title race is losing his mind. We're going to jump into all that and much, much more on the show this morning. Smash the like and the share button. Let's go. Now, these leaked emails are mesmerizing. Here's the first one. And it's important to go through this and read these. We'll put some links. We'll put them out on my Twitter account so you can kind of go to the link on my Twitter account and see these. But they're mesmerizing, as I say. The breakdown of what's said is crazy. So in the first email, you'll see here, it says, "Hi, Simon." He says, "Hope you are well. As in previous quarters, can we ask for your help in facilitating the amount due via the Abu Dhabi partners in January of next year? I attach a slide extracted from the board book that indicates the amount of cash that we need lined up from the shareholders in January to be paid through the relevant partners." In brackets here, it says, "I have highlighted the relevant amounts in red." Now, I need clarity on this, but that reads weird to me. What do you mean you've told us how much you need? Sponsors ahead of time set you an amount of money and they pay it to you annually, quarterly, 6 monthly, weekly, whatever it may be. It isn't, yeah, can you transfer us some money? We'll let you know how much we need to basically cook the books to break even. There's more and more of these. This is from an Andrew Winstoneson, who is from his official Manchester City address, and it's to a guy called Simon Pierce, and it's CC'd in somebody called Graham Wallace. And there's more of these. These emails continue. You can see this one here. By the way, I want to go back to the original email. This is the craziest part of it, where it says it indicates the amount of cash we need to be lined up from the shareholders to be paid through the relevant partners. That is the key word in here. We need this money from the owners, the shareholders, but to be paid through the sponsors. The second email leak here to Simon Cliff says, "We need to change this when I get into the office. We mustn't show the partner supplement if it is going outside of the club. So we need to doctor this," is what's being said here. And there's a third email here that's to Andrew that says, "But actually, formally, we want all these payments to be paid via, I think it's pronounced Abar, and through the telecommunication sponsors," right? Imagine that doesn't even make sense. Well, it does make sense. When you read these leaked emails, it is very damning. They are asking for payments from the owners of the club, the shareholders of the club, to be made to ensure their turnover and income is high, but they need to make it look as though it's coming from these sponsors. So whether that is something to do with the bank statements and physically doctoring it, or whether it's, well, can you give some money to the businesses that you and your family have connections into? And when you look at a lot of the companies that sponsor Man City, the investment companies have got are very small, but they're backed up by bigger organizations, which are 50, 60, 70% owned by the government or officials like Manduk at the club. There is a telecommunications company who sponsors them that is 60% owned by the Abu Dhabi royal family. There's QNet as a sponsor, who, when you go on their website, what do they even do? It looks like a website a 10-year-old could make. You know, is it GoDaddy, the website makers? It's literally like just some thrown together website. They don't really offer any services. Nobody really knows who they are, but yet they're sponsoring the club by exorbitant amounts of money. Is this the kind of smoking gun the Premier League have got? But reading these emails this morning is a little bit chilling. The fact that they thought they could send these emails via their Blackberries, and some of these are early. You can see the dates on these. They strayed back to 2013 and 2014, so very much in the early days of the sort of City ownership, as an example. But I believe that is the most potent element of this, because it's the beginning of this is more problematic than the latter end. They built the foundation on a lie. So even if from 2015 onwards it's all been legitimate, to get to where they were at that point was built and predicated through fraudery. I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on that, people. Hit the like and share button. Here is what Pep Guardiola had to say, though, back in April about these allegations. Take a listen to this.
The issue, the club making a statement the last Friday about what happened about the stolen mails. So what I can say personally in the club, of course I trust a lot with the club, what they have done. And of course we want to follow the rules, what the UEFA, the FIFA, or all the statements in the Premier League. They do what we have to do. So a part of that, believe me, I'm completely honest. So I don't know what happened because I'm a manager, I am focused what happened on the pitch, in the locker room, on of the pitch, but about the business, about they handle this kind of situation, I'm completely out of that. But I am part of the club, I'm supportive absolutely the club. And we want to do what really we have to do in terms of the rules.
And look, Pep Guardiola stating that there, he has nothing to do with it. He trusts the club 100%. This man is going to walk away. He's going to walk away if they're caught cheating. But at the same time, he's under exorbitant amounts of pressure. And you can see this with some of the weird stuff that he's been saying. Now, we know that Arsenal have been in tremendous form this year. They've been relentless. Just like Liverpool in the 1920 season. Arsenal are doing exactly the same thing here in 22-23. They've got City in a chokehold, and they are not relinquishing that pressure. Arsenal have been phenomenal. Yes, they lost to Everton. And yes, people are going to say, oh, this is the beginning of the end for Arsenal. I knew this was coming. I absolutely knew that Arsenal were going to fall off. It's one game. They're going to bounce back against Brentford. And in my opinion, beat Man City in 8 days' time. United are doing well, but won't catch them this year. This is Arsenal's title to lose, and Pep Guardiola knows it. And for a while, I've been thinking, I know Arsenal are breaking him. Arsenal were almost that final nail in the coffin. But the cracks were appearing in the egg, and I'm not talking about his head, because of what's going on. There's no way City have just been made aware of this today. City have known this has been coming for a while. They've been very bullish publicly. Oh, we're surprised about this, but we're willing to fight it to the end. City knew this was coming. City know these emails have been linked. How much they've cooperated. Like, my view is this: if somebody put an email of mine up on the internet today and said, "Terry, we've got evidence that you've broke some rules." If I know that email is not real from me, I say, come and take my computer, come and take my server, come and take all my external hard drives. I have a few of them because I keep all my stock footage on them. Come take them all, review them all, have access to them all. I guarantee you'll find those emails are fake. Let's see whether Man City have been that forthcoming with internal information or not. If you've got nothing to hide, let them have a look. But Pep Guardiola's been speaking some mad stuff recently. Take a look at what he said after the defeat this weekend. He said, coming from Manchester to London is like going to Northern Europe. It's 4 hours, 20 to get to a hotel. It's so exhausting. I'm sorry. I mean, I am sorry. I'm really sorry that you have to be driven down in luxury coaches or fly in private planes or sit in first class in a train for 2.5 hours. And I understand door to door, it might take 4 hours. But what is this moaning? It's not as though the Man City players and coaching staff are carrying all the bags, carrying the balls, carrying all the kits. Pep has to run to the shop and get the oranges for half time. The players have got all their luggage. They're standing on, they buy their own tickets. They had to lug their own luggage, excuse the pun, onto the train. They had to sit with the rest of us in cattle class, all squashed together. They get to London and they've got, they're waiting hours for their Ubers to turn up. They get to their crappy little 2-star hotel that's got no hot running water. They can barely sleep because the mattresses are horrible, 3 to a room. And then they have to get the tube the next day. They have to get the tube the next day from the hotel, and the tube breaks down 3 times and they're 40 minutes late to the training facility. And then they've got to get all their luggage into the stadium themselves. And they're absolutely exhausted because they've been traveling for a day and a half and they're not been able to rest. These men are pampered. The players don't lift a finger. They turn up. They've got a backpack on. They turn up, they get chauffeur driven to the train station. They have to stand at the platform, and they sit in first class with their feet up for 2.5 hours, sleeping, resting, chilling, laughing. They get to the train station in London. They are picked up by private taxis, chauffeured to a hotel where all their bags are then put in their room, where they eat and they relax and they sleep. They get up in the morning, they shower. That is the most strenuous part. They are then chauffeured in a coach to the ground. That is not exhausting. That is quite literally the opposite of exhausting. It is not exhausting. This is the nonsense. Pep also said, City are not in a position to think about being champions after the defeat to Spurs, with the Spaniard baffled by their record after losing 5 visits to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. How dare you, Pep Guardiola? How dare you? How dare you write off your chances of winning in a way of almost delegitimizing Arsenal, delegitimizing Man United that are chasing you? This is all us. We can't speak about being champions if we can't win these games. We're not at the races. We're exhausted from traveling. What are these excuses? What, you're going to blame long grass soon? Are you going to blame that it's been raining? You've been getting lessons from Ty. What's going on? The reason that you're under pressure is because you can't shake off Arsenal. Because Man United are breathing down your neck. You had a very hard year last year where Liverpool pushed you to the final day, and you haven't got over it. The players in the squad and you haven't got over it mentally or physically, and it's killing you. It's killing you. But the fact that they're trying to take the pressure away, and that's it, season's already off halfway through. No one's falling for it. Arsenal are the favourites, but the pressure is still on City. After either legitimately or illegitimately spending £2+ billion on players, having a huge squad, having the best manager in the world, you don't get, after 21 games, the opportunity to write yourselves off when you're 5 points behind. The pressure has to still be on City. And having to travel to games, how is that an excuse? Arsenal have to travel to northern games. Man United have to travel to southern games. It's a fair playing ground. Nobody else plays all their games at home. It's not only City that go away. I'm telling you guys now, I've said it before. The pressure of these investigations, the pressure of trying to do a three-peat, and the unsurmountable pressure from Man United and Arsenal has absolutely 110% broken Guardiola this year.
Oh!
Make sure you smash the like and the share button. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon. Thank you.